Welcome back. Today is the second episode of Before You Say I Do Premarital Counseling series. We will be talking about your family of origin. We will see how understanding your family of origin will enable you to understand each other and build a healthier marriage. So, allow me to start off with a narrative so that it will be easier for us. Matt and Annie, they courted for a year, after which they decided to marry. Right after their engagement, they went and spent some time with Annie's parents, and as they were talking, Annie's parents just shared how can they be of help to them. And Matt, since he grew up in a family where they were very comfortable talking about finance and financial assistance, he was right up there sharing how their financial support will be helpful for them. But he could sense that his fiancée, Annie, was giving him non-verbal cues not to talk about that, which left him quite confused because he could not understand why he was not allowed to share something that was so much on his heart. Later on, he discovered that as for Annie, in their family of origin, they did not openly talk about finance and they did not ask for each other for financial assistance. So that's the first thing. Moving on, after they got married and they went to spend their first Christmas with Annie's family. So after they arrived, Matt was not to be seen anymore. He was just lying on his bed, sleeping like a log, day in and out, which left Annie feeling quite lonely and she seemed to be moody. And Matt could not understand why she was acting like that. Now, later on, again, they found out that for Annie in her family of origin, when it came to Christmas holidays, that was a family time. That was a time where all the families would gather together and they liked to be around each other. But for Matt, in his family of origin, for them, it was quite different. Christmas holidays were that time of the year where they had this time to spend for themselves, to relax and to recharge themselves. So they had different stories. Now coming to the third scene, after they returned to their home, Matt, he went for grocery shopping and he came back. And as he brought the things, what Annie did was she took the sauce and put it on the dining table just like that. And when Matt saw that, he was like, honey, please get me a liquid dispenser so that I can refill it and keep it on the table for us. Which was quite confusing for Annie because in her family of origin, they used to keep the sauce just like that. But for Matt, in his family of origin, whenever his father went for grocery shoppings and brought things, what his mother would do is she would take out the sauce and refill it in a liquid dispenser. So that was how things worked out in his family. And it was always his father who went out for grocery shoppings. Now we see that through these narratives and the scenes that I've been talking about, we can identify three things. The first one is that we can see that they had different stories about how finance should be talked about or handled, right? The second one is they had different stories about how holidays should be spent. It also talks about family rules, right? And then finally, the third one, it's about roles and also rules. So we see that in Matt's family of origin, one of the roles which his father repeatedly played was to go for grocery shoppings, which Matt had picked up. So things like this, as we uncover the family of origin, we learn about these things, these patterns, okay? Norman Wright, he said that there are always 6 people in every marriage. When I first learned about that, I was very curious and I wondered, how can this be true? Later on, I realized that the other 4 people, apart from the husband and the wife, are their father and mother. Okay, so me with my mom and dad, and my husband with his mom and dad, that makes 6 people in a marriage relationship. Because, you know, our family of origin experiences really do mold and shape us in the way we think, the way we believe, and our expectations in relationships. It really does have its impact on us. Now, Norman Wright, he also went on and said that a parent's influence is always felt either in a proactive or reactive manner. So we can understand that because of our family of origin, 2 things can happen. The first one is called introjection, that is repeating the same cycle or the same pattern. For example, if you had a parent who was very involved in your childhood years and you felt that valuable, then you repeat that same thing in your married life. You become an involved parent for your children, okay? So that's called introjection. Or it could also be something like being abusive to our children because we've experienced the same experiences from our parents in our family of origin. So that's called introjection. The second thing is called reaction formation. This is the opposite of introjection. This is like going opposite of what our family of origin experiences has been. For example, it could be like refusing to relocate because you've experienced that so much in your childhood and you did not like it. Or sometimes being very indulgent because as a child you were very much neglected by your parents. So things like this can happen. But generally, it is more easier for us to repeat the same cycle, to introject the experiences that we have already had. That's generally true for most of us. When it comes to reaction formation, or like when we like to do it the other way around, yes, of course, sometimes it does happen naturally because of the negative experiences that we had, and we don't want to replay those experiences, and therefore we do the other way around, which is also quite good. But I feel that changing our patterns, especially the negative ones, with the help of therapy can be quite helpful. And what we do in this family of origin is we identify the positive patterns that are there in our family, and you get to share those, how you would like to carry those legacies, those good cycles, positive patterns in your marriage, or like the negative cycles, the negative patterns that you want to break away with. So you can become more conscious of your good positive qualities as well as the things which are not that nice, and the cycles that you would like to intentionally break away with. With the help of the family of origin assessment, you get to see a clear picture of how you view your own family of origin as it is. That is your own view, the way you see your family of origin. And also this enables you to see your partner's family of origin. It enables you to understand each other's stories and gives you space to, talk about what are those things that you really want to work on. What are those areas which you feel that you as a married couple, as a new family, wants to break away with. So this makes it easier for you to identify those things. Also, with the help of these assessments, you get to understand the kind of leadership that existed in your family of origin, the rules and roles, also how discipline was handled in your family of origins. And apart from that, this enables you to see how flexible your family was as a whole. Whether your family leaned more towards chaotic relationship or towards being too rigid and too structured, or are you somewhere in between? That's one scale that you see. And the other scale is to do with the closeness scale. Are you more towards enmeshment, or having a very distant relationship, or do you fall somewhere in between? Where do you fit in that cycle? So you get to see all those things and you get to weigh those areas. Now, Murray Bowen, he said that we always carry our family within us wherever we go. This is so very true. We can be an adult, we can grow up and become, older people, but no matter how aged we are, our family of origin experiences are always there within us, and it's molding us, it's shaping us in every aspect of life, isn't it? And this is going to be something which will lead you in understanding the other areas better. So we have talked about spirituality in the first episode. Definitely your home environment, your family of origin environment, when it came to spirituality, would have definitely affected your spirituality. That's one thing. Now as we move on, we will be talking about your personality. Personality is both nature and nurture, and our family of origin plays a vital role in that area also. So we will see that. Then, coming up, there will be this communication and conflict resolution. Here, we have grown up from our family of origin seeing how our parents deal with communication, how they handle conflict. And those things also get ingrained in us in some way, right? So we will be able to connect with those things also. Coming to finance again, our stories are different. The way we value money, the way we talk about it, it differs from person to person. And therefore, your story and your partner's story can be quite different. So that's another thing. When it comes to parenting as well, it is not unusual to parent the way we have experienced parenting from our parents. That comes in quite naturally, isn't it? We will see that our family of origin experiences does affect and impact the other areas, the other aspects that we will be dealing with in the upcoming episodes. This is a very, very important aspect that we need to deal with in our premarital counseling sessions, because this will enable you to have a lot more understanding of every other area as I have just mentioned. In the next video, we will be talking about personality. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.